Hello, welcome to the Ill Informers. I'm Elyott Ryan. I'm here with my two best buds, Nash and Darren. They can go fuck themselves, but we're starting the podcast anyway. How are you guys doing?
That was worth
Good.
the wait.
Just off with a bang. Good, Elyott. How are you? How are you, Nash?
Good.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Do you know what? I got breaking news. Danny Pudi came to my work.
No, fuck.
Yeah.
Really?
He came in and he's like, I don't know what these are. And then I had to explain what apples are to him. Apparently, he's never eaten an apple. And so I explained what each apple was. It was like, this is an ambrosia. It's kind of sweet and crispy. And then he started talking about this time he went and got a cappuccino. And he's like, there's this weirdo who works at the cappuccino store. And he turned down the entire store music when I was there.
True.
You guys, it's Danny Pudi, I think.
Yeah. I was like, everybody in this cappuccino store, shut up. Did he actually?
No, he never showed up.
Oh, that's why I know. I was so excited. And then as soon as he started making fun of you, Nash, I was like, that's not real. Shit.
You know what all the different apples do?
Yeah.
Are they like Pokemon? Do they have special powers? Each different apple?
Well, some are better for when you don't have teeth, like a Spartan or a Fuji or a Macintosh. Those are all old people apples. If you eat those, you're an old person. And then there's young people, spunky apples
that are like rocks.
Like ambrosia.
I think if I had no teeth, I just wouldn't want an apple.
Yeah. Or you have apple sauce?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to face that bite after bite. To be like, oh God, I have no teeth.
With a Spartan, you can eat those with no teeth.
Are they worried? Do they not have teeth, or are they afraid that their teeth are just going to come right out when they chew an apple?
Well, what do you do, Darren?
Yeah, that's good. I was glad you asked, Nash. I had, I actually once snapped one of my front teeth, tearing off a piece of tape. I was like, what happened? And my front tooth was in half. I'm like, oh.
That's Sydney water.
That's right. Sydney water's just Coca-Cola. That's all, just straight out of the taps.
So were you like, now, oh great, now I gotta go to the store and get different apples.
Yeah, yes, that's right. No, now I gotta go to the teeth store in Sydney and try to fit me with some teeth.
The denture.
Yeah,
that's so funny. I just picture displays of different teeth.
Just try them on.
That's probably the busiest store in all of Sydney, eh?
That's what. Well, everyone in Sydney are like, is everyone here a movie star? Their teeth are so. Oh no, they're all fake. They're all fake. That's not a natural look on that 96-year-old woman who looks like a shark, gleaming white teeth.
It's like when you see like dogs with human teeth when they do that digitally.
That is beautiful. It's an amazing. Is that what do you do for dog teeth care? Like, I've got a dog and I'm just like, people are like teeth. People brush their teeth, brush their dog's teeth. I'm like, why would you waste your time?
Sorry guys, one second.
You know why? Because it's really expensive when your dog's teeth get rotten and they have to be pulled.
But don't you just pull them out on your own, or just give them really crunchy stuff to eat, like apples, like ambrosia apples and galas, and
just hope for the best?
Yeah.
Let nature do its dentistry.
Actually,
you get a skate and you just get a rock and you just get your dog down there and just like cast away.
I can't believe you couldn't find anything different than a skate to do that with. Like, I would have tried to. You got all this time. You couldn't find like a nice narrow rock or like
a chisel, an actual
chisel. You can take the skates. You can take the blades off of the skates.
Then it's hard to hold, but you could. Yeah, that'd probably be better. A whole skate? That's clearly That's retarded.
It's a little overkill, I think.
The cats have, I don't know if it's the same with dogs, I don't think so, but cats actually have baby teeth, because when I got our kitten like years ago, you'd go around and you'd find, as it started to get older, you'd find teeth and you're like, oh my God, is there something wrong with this cat? Am I going to have to put it in a burlap sack and throw it off the pier? And then you're like, oh no, that's natural. You're like, oh no, they're supposed to lose their teeth. Oh, okay, you can come out now.
Yeah, dogs lose their teeth too.
They do. I haven't found any dog teeth though. When do they lose them?
They probably
I'm
eat
gonna
them.
make a dope necklace. That's all.
How old
You
is
don't
your
want-
dog? I think you gotta start from the beginning.
I think it's a year old. It's still probably baby dog teeth, right?
A year's not that long to remember.
I remember what I had for lunch July 18th, 1982, but I don't remember what I did 3 hours ago. So just
I think that's
Heads
a
up.
problem. I think that's a medical condition.
that's
I think
that's
that's
just
Alzheimer's.
that's just old age.
Hmm.
Yeah, my dad watches the same movie over and over again. That would be like the greatest
What's
superpower of all time.
What can we guess? What movie? And
Well-
if we guess it, you have to
Oh.
give us each $100.
Can we just Nash?
I was talking
Can we do
superfluously.
20 questions with this though? Can we
Yeah.
narrow it down with 20 questions? Okay, you go first. We'll do alternating.
Is Bruce Willis in it?
No.
Is it an action movie?
No.
Fuck. I got nothing now.
How old is your dad?
59.
We went to school together. I was the grade above him.
Still wearing the same sweater.
So we're at 3. So is it a comedy?
Yes.
Is it 1980s?
No.
Well, don't make that face and say no. That was a good question, I thought, Darren.
Thank you.
Don't let Elliott's grumpy disposition and T-shirt dissuade you from thinking you're doing a good job.
I will not. Thank you. Thank you, Nat.
Is it from the 90s?
No.
Do you know what year? This isn't a question, but do you know what year it is?
No.
But it is a question. Is it the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have boobs in
It
it?
has to be on one of the streaming services.
Oh, right. Is it on Netflix?
Oh, that's gonna help.
I don't know at the moment.
Okay. Is it like a romantic comedy?
Some would say it's a little romantic.
Is it a sci-fi?
It's a comedy. Oh. Is it Galaxy Quest?
No.
No. Okay.
Is there? Oh, this is not gonna. Is the lead a male or female? Wait, do they have to be yes, no questions? Is the lead a female?
No. Not watching no chick flick.
That was my least favorite question I've ever heard, Darren. But
I think that's gonna get us canceled.
There's nothing to nail it down now.
is it comedy? Is it okay?
It's a sci-fi comedy.
Is it Judd Apatow?
He has
What
not-
sci?
Is it a Judd Apatow movie?
No, he doesn't do sci-fi.
No.
Oh, it is
Nash.
sci-fi.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
I was just there.
That is me. You're drinking Sydney water.
I should have drank that bottle you gave me. It's a sci-fi comedy. This is dumb. I'm gonna be so
Yeah.
mad when you tell me what it is because these clues are not gonna be sufficient.
Oh, is it The Fifth Element? No, because that Bruce Willis question. Never mind. Scratch it.
I can't believe I asked Bruce Willis. That's fine.
That's 90s.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, it's 90. That's the last 10
Has
years.
anyone in the movie been canceled?
No.
Oh.
Is this making for a good podcast?
Give us a hint.
No. We're gonna do this.
Okay, you're gonna do this? All right.
We're gonna do this. Elliott's gonna be on his phone, and we're gonna figure this out. Okay, so sci-fi. Does it have Tom Cruise in it?
Yes.
Edge of Tomorrow?
Vanilla Sky. Edge of Tomorrow? That's not a comedy. Good work, Nash.
Thank you.
I find it very funny when he dies all the time.
That's a good movie.
It is.
It's kind of funny that your dad keeps watching it.
Over and over again.
Like Edge of Tomorrow. That's right.
Hmm.
Is your dad just watch it because he loves it so much, or does he genuinely like, I don't quite
He doesn't
recollect?
remember what goes on. He doesn't remember that he even watched it.
That's
Tom
fantastic.
Cruise movie, awesome.
And that's the greatest. This guy I used to know, we'd hang out at this video store together. And that's what we said would be great, because there's not really that many good movies out there. So if you could just get a handful of them, and if you could erase the movie and then what, but apparently you just gotta wait till you're 60.
Yeah, you get all those emotions back.
Yeah.
It's like the first time you saw it. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so good. If you had
imagine you had that for sex. Like you always just forgot that you've ever had sex.
That'd so
be
awkward.
That's basically what happens to me
every time.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry. The
Cry.
What does this do?
If you only had
Maybe
one
sex
movie
needs experience.
that you could
Sex needs
watch.
experience to be good, right?
No,
Not
you
for
just
you,
gotta,
I guess.
just gotta ham fist it every time you go in. Literally, that's the move, the ham fist.
Darren brings his own fist made of ham.
They call it a salami, but
just to snack on.
After, yeah.
Yeah, before a drink, depends. It's all about being in the moment. So whatever, there's no wrong.
Whatever, no kink shaming, no judgment here.
Well,
a little bit.
A
little bit. We got to keep some things in line, I think.
Until you break a tooth on a sex ham, you haven't lived, right?
If you only had one movie that you could watch, I guess you'd watch it a bunch of times and then never watch movies again. But what movie have you seen the most? Like, have you watched? Which one?
I don't know. Groundhog Day.
For real?
No, but I've seen it a lot of times. I have seen it like 100 times.
Does your dad like that movie?
He doesn't remember.
There's no. What about you, Nash?
It depends. Do I get to be with anybody when I watch the movie? Is it just me?
No, just what movie? I think what movie have you watched the most? Like an embarrassing amount of times.
Okay, this is a weird one. I think I've seen the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves the most. I think that's my favorite movie.
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
It's so good.
And I love Hellblazer.
Well, you can watch it for me, Nash.
Yeah, well, you might not be allowed to watch it in your house. It's got some.
It's
got some. Can possibly be interpreted as anti-Christian.
There's lots of
demons
in it.
And there's a girl.
Oh my god.
She makes her own decisions. She makes her own decisions and stuff.
Oh God! Stop.
Yeah, it's like she helps and things. I don't know.
That can't even be possible. Why is such a fictional?
Yeah, your dad doesn't watch this, does it? Okay, good. No, it's so good. I don't know. I watched it. I watched it as a kid, and I just. It's just good. It's got a lot of great elements. It's like a noir movie, but between heaven and hell. He's trying to buy his way back into.
But Keanu Reeves is his acting outside of Bill and Ted's fairly shaky.
He does pretty well. He
is a Canadian national treasure.
Oh my God! You're like when he played Hamlet in Winnipeg.
To be or not to be.
Fuck yeah. You seen Speed?
To be or not to be.
He's fine, but he's always like, I don't buy him as and he's a sweetheart. I've never met him, but apparently he's a sweetheart. But I just don't buy him as anything other than just a surfer, like a stoner dude. So it doesn't matter what he plays. I'm always just like, I can't get past that. Like, whoa, bro, that draw, dude. I can't get past it.
He's pretty good in Constantine.
I will watch Constantine. Like, did you read the comics, Dash?
I did after the movie. I do have a couple. graphic novels, and I did read it for a time when I was in my peak comic book days.
Last week.
Like 2006 to 2008-ish. I was reading Hellblazer then. And then the movie's quite a bit different, which I like, than the comics. Like, he's American in the movie. Thank God. and yeah, it's really got some really great stuff. The best Elyott, cover yours, the best Lucifer interpretation.
Wow.
I think it's pretty great.
Yeah.
What about the
Wait, I'm just getting this. Is Elyott Christian? What's going on?
I don't know. He went to a Christian school.
Okay.
He
Did you
doesn't want to
really?
talk about it, though.
Okay. That's fine.
I was raised somewhat Christian, yeah.
I guess we all kind of were, though.
I don't identify as it.
No.
But my parents are.
Do your parents still go to church?
Well, there is no church.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Whoa,
I was trying to.
Elyott. Whoa! What is this? The movie Constantine? Come on.
I was trying to out them.
Is that a Christian dad thing? Tom Cruise movies?
I don't know. I think most dads like Tom Cruise, don't they?
Yeah,
it's pretty big.
Yes.
One of the biggest actors of all time. Everybody's
he's killing it. He's killing it.
Even him crazy is still like, oh yeah, I believe him. I believe him as his character, even though he is completely out of it.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree. I said Tom Cruise is always Tom Cruise, but he is so likable. Like, I admire that guy's, like, his fucking work ethic is crazy. He's so, like, and even though you're right, like, he's bonkers, out to lunch most of the time. He's still
everybody's out to lunch, though. Look at you,
I've
Darren,
never
with
been
that
out to
hat.
lunch once.
I didn't have time to wash my hair, unlike Elyott just flaunting it. I put a hat on out of respect for your mother, who's gonna watch this, Nash.
Yeah, she will watch it. She's been watching them the whole thing.
What's her? What was her? I'd be interested to hear her feedback.
We can do that after you. We're not doing that in the middle of another episode. Jeez Louise.
Why not? Why
No.
not? Get back to talking about Tom Cruise?
Well, we can talk about something else. Bring up something else. Jeez.
My daughter wants to start a podcast.
Not bad, Darren.
Tell her no. Tell her your dream is bad. Jeez.
My mother will watch that one though.
At least your parents are supportive. My parents are like, hey, is there anything better you could be doing with your life? This is not kind of working out for you.
Your parents have too many kids to be supportive of all of them.
And then they hit play on the Tom Cruise movie again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah, they completely remember every moment of my comedy career, but they don't know my long-lived. But Tom Cruise movies.
That petered out. Are you
Just
sure it's a podcast they want to start, Darren, and not like an intervention for you?
An intervention for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. That's where it's gonna eventually end up. That's where it's gonna terminate.
Yeah, they're gonna be
like, why is my brother and my parents here? Why are you guys all holding those notes? What's going on?
Darren, don't you have anything better to do with your time?
Does it ever stop, Darren? Do your parents ever stop complaining about what you're doing?
And no, well, they're much like your parents. They're oblivious to it now, and they just go, good. As long as you have a job and you're gainfully employed in something real, then you do whatever you like in your spare time. We think that's great, son.
We got you another vase, and it's
my daughter wants to start. Bet you could guess what kind of podcast it is.
Please get me another dad. No. Is it about
Hello Kitty?
Is it about how she wants somebody else to pick her up from school?
Yeah. Is that I'm not allowed within 100 feet of the school. So she's like, I just really don't want to walk all that way to the car anymore.
That's from a court order though. That's totally unrelated to how cool you are, right? What does she want to talk? Is it Fortnite?
No, she doesn't play video games. It's a murder podcast, of course. You guys, come on.
Oh, yeah. About how she wants to murder you?
We're planning a murder. That's what we're not talking about murders. We're best weapons, how to clean up, does bleach actually destroy DNA, that sort of thing. Research, plan, and then execute a murder.
You know what? I'd really listen to that. That'd be fun.
That sounds like a good niche.
A little cute father-daughter podcast about how to. You should talk about murders and then talk about their mistakes and how they could have avoided them.
Yeah, that's good. I'm taking notes right now. I'm gonna do that.
In between each season, you go upstate and you take somebody out, and
that's right.
His problem is he got too arrogant.
It can't be anyone you know. You pick someone you do not know.
Yeah, then apparently there's no way they can really just pick somebody at random. You're so lucky, Elyott.
Because I don't know anybody.
You don't know me.
Yeah, I know you. If I didn't know you, I would have murdered the shit out of you.
There's something about that guy in the grocery store. The way he fluffs that kale.
Yeah, he knows too much about apples. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. And then after I kill you, I'd be like, how you like them apples?
Okay, I think we need to stop this podcast. Let's stop this podcast.
And then everybody would laugh and then high five me.
And then you go to jail. And then you get interviewed on Darren's podcast from jail.
Oh, that's right.
Can
you?
You become.
And I'd be like, I got too arrogant, and started swearing with the police.
I haven't listened to too many murder podcasts, but can you just phone jails and just interview murderers? Is that fine?
Yeah, I think there's some moral ambiguity there that.
They're all on TikTok now. Just contact them through TikTok.
I just want those likes.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? About people exploiting murder? I remember our last murder documentary I watched. I thought it was. I kept saying this is kind of gross.
What was it?
What's that one on Netflix with the dad who killed the wife and his two
Full
kids?
House.
Well, half Full House now. Half empty.
At least you're optimistic. I was wrong.
And
I know which one. He killed his own family, right? And then he just walks off.
An American Murder, yeah.
Oh, there's another one. There's another one, different one.
There's so many people doing murder.
But it's hard to keep up. Just the way it's like flashy and like it's entertaining, but then you were like, oh, his kids are in an oil tank. Put them in there.
These are real stories. Yeah. Unsolved Mysteries has one where a dad just he's like failing and he's like has no money and he just kills his entire family. And then the last video of him is just him walking towards the mountains and they never found him. It's like, oh, wow, uplifting.
Was he a penguin?
Yeah, he just, I'm so depressed.
I like how we do callbacks to other episodes that people have not watched.
My mom's going to love that.
And then the murderer, he walked to the mountain.
And then after completing his task, he went towards the mountains.
Is your mom German?
No, this is the documentary about the murder by Werner Herzog.
The penguin murders.
What was I going to say? I had something really great to say, and then Elyott.
Yeah, we believe
it was probably fine.
Yeah. Now you save the great stuff for when you forget it. You're like my dad. He always forgets to tell me he loves me.
You know what we should do? That'd be really fun. We should watch The Edge of Tomorrow.
Let's just change this to a podcast about Tom Cruise.
I'm okay with that.
I love that idea.
Cruising for Cruise.
Yes and yes.
What?
That's
a bonus episode. We're coming straight at you.
I used to listen to tons of murder podcasts, but then had to stop because it did not instill any faith in humanity for me. Like I was just like all the horrible, horrific shit.
You know what? No, it's the opposite. There's so little murder compared to how many people there are. I'm impressed.
But it doesn't
it
does not put it in perspective when that's all you're listening to, Elyott. It seems, you know how like when you do comedy, it seems like everyone's doing stand-up and everyone's doing comedy and you're like, oh great, I got into comedy when everyone decided to do that. It's like that
Yeah.
listening to murder. I decided to get into murder and everyone's doing it. It's like,
Yeah, it's like when all you watch is The Edge of Tomorrow, and then every problem you see is like, how can I die and just restart?
But I think it's just so impressive that we have like all these people. There's so many people here, and most of them aren't murderers. Like 99%. That's amazing. You would think that there'd be so many more murderers, but we're doing a pretty good job of not murdering.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
Like
imagine.
like way back then, people murdered all the time. Like the Shakespeare times, they were killing each other. They're just like, "Caca."
I was
Now we're
reading
like,
a book on swords, and they were talking about when dueling was at its peak, and how there was it was such a cultural thing about challenging people to duels and people dying, that the kings and the kingdom were like trying to suppress, like with public service announcements. It's like it was like drunk driving. Like, okay, you don't have to duel every time. So many people were dying because
it just seems like the
duel
just
at
because
everything.
just because somebody bumps you in the bread line
That's
doesn't mean you stab them. Okay, it's just sourdough.
It was like the
That's it.
TikTok.
Pull your
back
gloves
then.
off and
Yeah, we had the swords and would just horrifically die. And
yeah,
you only get
and
one
you didn't
chance.
die. The guns back then were like it would just be this little ball that would travel about 25 miles an hour, and then you wouldn't die from getting shot. You'd die from the horrific, painful infection after. It's not like now. At least someone with a
barely hit
AR-15 would.
I've
would be
never heard a
pretty quick.
better metaphor for this podcast.
you.
But it was just swords. They would fight
Hey.
with swords, Darren.
I don't like the negativity. Okay, come on.
To be fair, I'm the
Positivity.
in this metaphor, I am the bullets. Darren is the gun, and Elyott, you are the infection.
That's gonna stick. Can someone do up a GIF of that on our Patreon? That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, your Nash's mom. Can you please make a GIF for us? Shit! Now I'm the negativity.
She'll do it. She'll do it. She's really
She's really
Tech savvy.
yeah. She'll make it happen.
Okay, can you make
happen.
we need a picture of a sex ham, and we need a GIF of me being infection, Nash being a bullet, and Darren being a gun.
Were you just doing a drug deal there, Darren?
Yes, I was. I got
selling pot to his daughter.
To my kid. I was like, yeah, I don't front anymore. I need that cash up front. Let's go.
What was I going to say? I had something really awesome to say, and this was going to be. Oh my God, Elyott, am I your father?
Is it? He's fallen into a Darth Vader role.
We were talking about murder podcasts and kids in oil tanks. Yeah, I forget. It's fine.
That's right.
We'll leave it. We'll leave it there. Did you guys freeze or no?
No. We're waiting for your brilliant idea.
You're so captivated.
I was thinking of a name. It's called Tard and Toddlers, or Tard Toddlers. When you throw them into a tar pit. I don't know.
What? Is this the podcast?
Yeah.
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 And that's the only murders you're allowed to cover?
Tar-related child deaths?
Yeah. Like, well, we're waiting for people. It's more to provide inspiration to the psychos out there. Would you please give us some fodder?
That's the problem. It's like that light. It's that lock. It'd be the same thing as like the lock picking thing on YouTube. There's like a lock, like an expert at picking all types of locks.
Yeah.
And he just shows you how to easily break any lock. Like most locks are so easy to break. And now so many criminals can just watch that and be like, I can break any lock now. I watched 10 minutes of YouTube. Now I can steal so many bikes.
I think it was always, that information was always available. Couldn't you?
No, but I feel like YouTube now is like a real.
It's like safes. Like you could just like, he knows how to perfectly break into a safe that you wouldn't normally be able to break into.
Do you need a stethoscope and you shave down your fingertips and
you watch The Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah. I feel like that's the good thing about YouTube is like, yes, there's lots of stuff out there, like how to murder people, break into safes and that sort of thing. But then there's also like how to fix your radiator on your car and things like that, right?
There's quite a bit of dishonor in that kind of, that trailblazing of secret revealing. Remember the masked magician?
The Magic Club, Magic Secret, Magic Circle. Yeah,
Well, there was that guy on Fox that had TV magic specials where he'd do a trick, but then he'd show you how it's done, and there was uproar
Oh
in
yeah,
the magical community.
the
He wore a
musician
mask so they wouldn't kill him.
wouldn't make him disappear.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of nerds like, ugh, Terry, why would you tell everyone our secret?
yeah, he got kicked out of the Magic Guild, and
Well, that's why
One
people
day-
don't like Penn and
day-
Teller either, because Penn and Teller do that too. Like they do the
Yeah.
reveal of the secret, but then they do a better trick where you're just like, what in the actual fuck? How did they do that? Like that's a pretty Penn and Teller are pretty amazing.
But you're kind of pulling up the ladder below the people, because you're like, these are the tricks you have to learn at the beginning, and now all these easy tricks are so obvious, right? So
Yeah.
you're like kind of pulling up the fire ladder behind you, so nobody else can do magic now, because they're never going to be at your level.
But that's good. You raise the bar for it because magic
But
should
the bar,
be awesome.
the bar shouldn't be too high that a new person can't start.
the bar should be just a mirror.
Yeah, but you have to you have to learn all that shitty stuff. It's like
You can't get
spelling
paid
and
for it
writing.
anymore.
No one like, okay, drawing. No one gives a shit when kids are in elementary school and you walk through the hallways and you see their shitty drawings or collage or whatever. It's like they're all terrible.
I
But
can
the
just
thing
see
is
you
they
going
have
to a high school. I can see you right now going to the high school, be like, "Fuck off! That's shitty drawing. Oh, wasn't that a little turtle? Oh."
Yeah, you can't-
Elyott sheds a single tear as he looks over right to his left to his wall of drawings.
Like, I'm never gonna be an artist. But that's what you got to start there. You got to start somewhere. You got to be terrible at something, and then you eventually surpass that and get better and get good. Like podcasting, you start, it's terrible, and then you learn how to make it better and you get better at it.
It's like an infected bullet wound, and then eventually it just kills you. Well, I think it's different with magic because it's the secret is the thing. Different with painting because Leonardo or some other Ninja Turtle could explain how the paintings work. Like, oh, this is how you draw a realistic painting, but there's no way I could replicate that. That's not the secret. That's all time. The skill is based on time. Or magic is some skill, but also how you cut a lady in half. That the secret of that is the 80% of the actual act.
Isn't it sleight of hand?
Yeah, but I don't know what the yes.
But then that raises the bar. Like I know when I watch a magician, I know they're not actually like levitating or actually cutting a lady in half. But I'm still amazed if they can do it without me being able to guess the secret.
Yeah.
And then
Elliott,
if they
is this okay that we're talking about magicians? We're not making you uncomfortable.
Wow.
he was not allowed to read Harry Potter when he was growing up, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
No,
magicians are fine. Wizards are bad. Come on, Nash.
Sorry,
Magicians aren't
sorry.
real.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the devil's work. So any sort of sleight of hand or any sort of hand activities.
How did
Idle
you
hand.
guess my card? How did you guess my card? You're the devil.
Mom!
Ah!
Mom! No, Darren, I think you're right. That is the game. But then as soon as somebody tells you, you go, oh, okay. And then that guy means nothing to you anymore.
But then you got to layer another.
It's like I think it's
another
like
thing on top of it.
it's sort of like if you memorized all of Stanhope's new special and you told that to your friend, you just ruined the entire special. Like they can't watch it naturally. And it's not as funny because you're saying it. So you both
Yeah.
ruined it. You both ruined it, and you got rid of the opportunity of enjoyment.
I don't know, but I
Yeah.
think,
I don't know if that's the
okay,
right-
so
know.
400 years
Trying to
ago,
think about
magic was just taking
just-
a coin
we're
and
just-
just
we're
doing
just-
like,
no.
ooh, look, where is it? Ooh, where did it go? Then you
No,
just raise the bar.
magic was drowning a lady because she thought she was a witch.
That's
Yeah,
true.
those are
And she
magical.
floats. She's a witch. Kill her. There was no way out of that one. It was pretty terrible.
That really messed
No.
with me as a kid.
Like you'd just be like, I could see the fallacy in this logic.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What messed you up? What messed you up, Nash?
Hearing about that if somebody was accused of witchcraft, they would drown you, and then if you drowned, that you weren't a witch.
And then if you floated, you were a witch and they burned you at the stake.
Yeah.
And if you
it's a
didn't
lose-lose.
burn, then they would shoot you with an infected bullet.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's
So the magic thing, it's like taking, I can't think of a better
we could do
comparison.
magic analogies all day, you guys. The fact of the matter is, it makes the community better when you tell everyone they gotta level up.
The community, yeah, but the public?
But if you were a magician, Darren, do you think you would feel that way?
I'd be so angry. I'd be so mad. But then you end up doing children parties because you go, look, children are relatively dumb. So you could do all your coin sleight of hand magic. I'm still I had a buddy who her kid was really good at sleight of hand magic. And I remember just being amazed.
You beat him up?
Yeah, it's like, quit making me look like an idiot.
Your kid's a devil, nerd. He's a devil
Drowned him
nerd.
in the
Get him.
pool.
Yeah.
Sorry, he was really good at sleight of hand.
Yeah, but just even knowing that he's like, he's doing all the sleight of hand, I couldn't see where he was palming all the coins, everything like that. And I was still just like, I know you're doing it. I can't see it. And that alone is enough to, I was like, that alone is enough to impress me, dude.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think what this really means is I think all that stuff was already available. It was just harder to get. Because I have a sleight of hand book from the 30s. That's like the sleight of hand book Bible. Like
you were alive back then?
For card tricks. No, Darren got it.
That's right. I got.
He recommended it.
It
was all available, and the thing is, it's been around forever. But there's also no pictures too. So all the tricks are described by words. So I don't know if you've ever tried to do something with your hands with just words. So it's very inaccessible. But now I could just Google the trick and then find 40 YouTube magicians.
I've read. Can I just interject and say I have read erotica and no pictures, and I was still able to do stuff with my hands. So,
but it's not as accessible as it is on the internet.
Can you imagine a whole sleight of hand told in sign language?
Whoa! You could layer that in ways. You could be tricking them. You could be lying to them during the trick.
It'd be so good, but it is true. All those ones from the 30s are all. There's some at one of the bookstores here in Sydney, and it is all. There's like.
The new bookstore though, right?
Not yeah. No, the one I yes, the new one, not the one that burnt down in '77 where I got the book for you.
I mean they only sell new books.
Yeah, no, this is one of the older used bookstores.
Fresh off the press, eh?
They had one of those magic books. I'll go have a look. It's not going to be as good as the live history of Terrace.
That you lost.
I know.
Can we talk about this for a second?
I don't know if
Darren,
I can. I'm a little.
Darren, okay, I'll bring it up. Okay, I'm bringing it up. Darren went to a thrift store. Nash is from Terrace, by the way, a little small town in northern BC that nobody gives a shit about. But there was a book at the thrift store that said the entire history of Terrace. Darren picked it up.
It was really a pamphlet.
Darren picked it up. It was mostly about a martial artist teacher. But Darren picked it up and he sent us a picture and then he didn't buy it. It was 25 cents.
Yeah, it was, but I was like, what am I getting? Nash is never going to read this. Why would he want this?
I didn't realize it was 25 cents.
It was $1, which still, I think that gets you a steak dinner. So.
They pre-chew it for you too in Sydney.
That's right.
And Darren went back and it was gone.
I went back the next day. Someone was like, the most amazing thing is that someone in this massive thrift store with tens of thousands of books saw that and was like, I need to have this history of Terrace.
Maybe they just wrote their suicide note on
it. Everyone will know why I did this.
Did you ask? Maybe.
No, I didn't. No, they don't keep track of it. Everything's just in giant piles in the back of the store.
Maybe they moved it because maybe they thought, why are we displaying this book?
It could be. I'll go back and look on Monday. I'll see if I can find it. I'll get it for you.
Okay, and we'll try and make a podcast more riveting than this one.
This is pretty good. This is magic. Keanu Reeves.
This is our best one yet, Nash. Come on.
Oh, good.
Your mom's gonna be foaming at the mouth trying to get more of this.
Think of this podcast as like a disappearing coin trick, sleight of hand. We're working our way up to cutting a lady in half, but we're pretty good for our skill level.
It's kind of neat, and that looks like it takes a lot of time to do, and nobody cares.
Excellent.
I do love sleight of hand.
I was at a strip club once. The one time, and my parents were very mad.
Were you working there?
Yeah, I was working it.
At the buffet.
Excuse me, have you heard the good word? Excuse me, have you heard the good word?
You were protesting.
But we were there, and a guy came up and just started doing sleight of hand, but he was terrible at it. So we're trying to watch some boobies, and this guy comes up with a deck of cards and is like, "Do you want a magic trick?" And then he's just like, "Is this your card?" And it's like, it wasn't our card. And then the stripper behind us had our card in her vagina. It was crazy.
I like that. That's amazing.
Are you telling the truth?
No.
I thought it was like you fooled me just with your story.
Dude, I wish I had. That's the kind of passion I want. I want to be so excited about my sleight of hand where I can approach strangers in front of a naked lady and be like, "Now I know there's boobs and possible vagina over there, but I really think you're gonna love this. I need you to pick a card."
And having people being enthralled. Is this your card? No. That? No. Is it? This one's your card. There's only 48 left. One of them is your card.
That poor guy. I'm so sad right now.
But there is. I used to work at this one pub, and there was a guy who did do sleight of hand. It was pretty good at it, but he would do it for drinks, and that's where he was using his sleight of hand knowledge to support his alcoholism. Just wandering around the pub, be like,
that's actually a good method to not get too drunk. Because the more drunk you get, the worse you get. You won't get more drinks. It's perfect.
That's great.
That's a way to never.
Or you guys get really good at your sleight of hand while you're hammered.
That's just a better skill. Then you deserve more drinks.
Yeah, we should try and somehow implicate that method into this podcast.
The longer we go, the more we should quit.
Yeah, nothing better than that dopamine hit of, "Whoa, how did you do that? What?"
Yeah.
It's so easy to trick. It's so easy to trick a human mind, though. That's what you figure out. It's like we have a lot of holes in our brains that, like,
you arrogant son.
That's how Elyott got married. It's like, I've realized I tricked this woman into marrying her.
I think I found the subject for your next murder podcast. The human brain is surprisingly easy to manipulate.
Yeah, it's full of holes. Holes I put there with a gun. Was that too dark? So you're obviously an expert in magicians, Nash. Who's your favorite magician?
What's the guy's name?
It starts with an H.
And starts with an S. Satan.
He was in a lot of movies. He's this wonderful sleight of hand guy.
Who is he?
Ricky J.
Ricky J. That's right. That's right. There's this great. I couldn't find.
I know his brother. I know Ricky J's brother. I went to.
Who is that?
It was Tricky J.
Tricky J.
He's got a DJ career.
Huh. Or he's just turning tricks. What? Yeah, he was the best. He's got this great. He had a show. I think we just off Broadway.
How dare you interrupt on your own podcast, Elyott? Sorry. No, it's fine.
Tricky J. He used to do like street magician, and he's steal your money. Just as good at magic, but evil. Had a mustache.
Yeah, mustache, beard, and I think he just passed away a couple years ago.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. There's a great HBO special from his like one-man show.
Yes.
That's online. It's not HD. I was trying to find the DVDs. They aren't available anymore. I wanted to get it. He's so good.
Yeah.
They've all been made to disappear.
It's like Jedi shit. He found this guy who was from like the 20s and 30s who made a living off of cards, like tricking people with cards. and he sought him out in some small town and lived there for 10 years and tried to learn. I don't know if that's true, but he moved there and stayed with him for a long time and learned as much as he could from him.
That shit is amazing. Like because to be really good at magic or sleight of hand or cards or anything like that, and there's definitely an underbelly to it, but to be good at it, I mean, you got to practice like a motherfucker and study that. You can't just decide, oh, once a week I'll practice some tricks and get good at it. It doesn't happen that way. You got to the level of dedication is incredible.
I think you would practice a trick 10,000 times before you showed anybody.
That's fucked.
So it's like a year of practicing a trick before he even brings it. So there's zero room for any sort of error or anything.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
No, it's good.
So
I
good. Like to be shuffling cards and then you put and then to put them all back in order.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You should watch it. I don't know. He's doing something obviously, but it's very impressive.
Have you seen the magician, the blind magician Richard Turner? He has a Netflix doc called Dealt, and he does everything that your guy does, but blind.
But blind.
I feel like Elyott made this up. He's like, he did it as good as Ricky Jay, but he's blind. Top that.
No, he's better. He's like one of the best magicians in the world, and it's all cards, sleight of hand, and he can't see at all.
I feel bad for his wife testing out his tricks. Was this the card? Did it work?
Are his cards Braille?
Did it work?
No, he memorizes the 52 card deck and then he shuffles it, and he knows.
How does he know
exactly
what the cards are?
I think the thing is you don't need your eyes for that, that card manipulation.
Once you can do it, then you can do it without eyes. If you're really good.
That's like I don't understand why. If I was blind, I don't know what I would do, but I don't think there's that guy that beat that Zelda game, that Ocarina of Time. He's blind and he beat it. How did he do
that? Did he have friends describing it?
No, he just sat and he's like, "Oh, I must be hitting a wall." And then he turns and he beat.
How does he know he's hitting a wall? Because just nothing.
The sound. There's the sound and stuff, and it's. I don't know why he would. I don't know. It's crazy.
I did realize the other day I watched a little bit of Platoon with the description on. And I was like, oh, if I was blind, I would cease to watch movies because it was just Chris goes into the hut, sets it on fire. The hut burns. And I'm just like, oh, I would not watch movies if that was the level of description.
Was that an accident?
I just saw Platoon was on and I flicked it on. I was like, oh, this is on the blind channel or whatever.
That was his daughter. That was his daughter in the corner just describing what was going on. Lights, fire.
Darren has a hard time. William Dafoe gets shot down in a hail of gunfire.
That's right.
Oliver Stone's trauma is on. Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
But Delta's a really good doc.
Is that what's it called? Delta.
Delta. Yeah, Delta Force.
Is this the one with Chuck Norris? Perfect.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Delta 12 times.
Delta Force, because forcing, that's a magic term to force a card on somebody.
Yeah, you go, which one would you like to choose? Is this your card?
And say stop. Okay, go again, say stop.
It's so savvy. Yeah, that's a great, it'd be a great skill to have, but it is like the level, it's like, it is equivalent to skateboarding. Like I know we've talked about skateboarding before, but it must be like you get to a level where you learn how to shuffle cards with one hand. And then you're like, wow, if I gotta get really good at this, I'm just gonna have to put in an unreal amount of hours. And then you just give up. That's
I think for me, the moment would be to work on it in secret. And then that one time in your life when there's a deck of cards at a party, you go like,
what are these?
Yeah. And you're like, oh, then
you push aside the guy who brought his own guitar, and you're like, no.
And then you put a card in somebody's vagina. That's
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Nash's mom. Give a hand for Nash's mom.
Oh, hey.
And that's the end of this podcast. Let's wrap it up here, boys.
Excellent.
Thanks for a shitty outro too.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for listening to Ill Informers. We've been Elyott, Ryan, Nash Park, and Darren Miller. You have been yourself, and we couldn't have done this without you.
Actually, we are currently doing it without you.
But thank you so much for listening, and have a good one.